don't do it. And the main question is why? Well, number one, because of an inability to delay gratification. Number two, because they don't fully know how to do something. This is the most common reason in more successful business owners. And a business owner asked me this exact question: when all the information is available, why are entrepreneurs still stuck? And so this is what I told him. I'd say at the most basic level, it's because of an inability to delay gratification. And so if we just think about like, why do humans do things in general? It's because they've been rewarded more for doing what they're currently doing rather than changing what they're doing. And I think that makes sense from an evolutionary perspective, that like more of what you're currently doing is safe. And so people, once they find another point of equilibrium, it's very difficult for them to break out of that. Even if they're, quote, like mentally, like I really wish I could scale, they want to scale, but what they really want is to do what they're currently doing, which is why they're doing it. And so I think being able to clearly articulate also like the actions. So how is just like such a simple word. It's a short word, but has a lot of like depth to it, which is if I were to talk to a toddler and say, I want you to scale a business, they would just look at you like, what? Yeah. If you were to tell me, hey, can you scale this business? I'd probably say, yeah, I can. And so the specificity of a request is inversely correlated with the skill of the recipient. Meaning, if you have somebody who has very low skills, I have to say like, okay, here's how you turn on a computer. Once you turn on a computer, then you're going to open up Safari. What's Safari? It's an internet browser. What's the internet? Okay, let's explain what the internet is, right? And then eventually you're like, okay, we're going to go to Google. What's a Google? We'll get there. Don't worry. We go to Google. Okay, finally, we're going to sign up here. You're going to get an email. Once you have an email, I don't know how to type. Great, let me teach you how to type. And so the thing is like the lower the skill level of the individual, the more aggregate skills they have to learn in order to chunk up. And so sometimes people hear the word, oh, you just need to do outreach. But that is a bundled term that has 100 things underneath of it, which is like, how do I warm up a domain? How do I set, what's an opener? How do I integrate my, Klaviyo with my whatever, right? Like, how do I integrate these tools? And so there's 100 hows underneath of it. And they'll usually get stuck on one of the hows and being unwilling to try because it's so frustrating of like, I think what makes entrepreneurship feel slow is that you can try to learn something for a day and not have an outcome and then have to come back to it tomorrow. And figuring things out is by nature a wandering activity, which means that if you knew how to figure it out, then you wouldn't have to figure it out because you'd already know it. And so people do really poorly with uncertainty. And so entrepreneurship, a lot of it is just the ability to tolerate uncertainty, which feels very painful the entire time you're in the uncertain period, which is what I honestly think a lot of the pain of entrepreneurship is, wondering whether the investment you're currently making today, the thing you know you're going to lose, the money, the time, the effort, the sweat, is going to actually pay off to the thing that you hope is going to happen and you don't know when it's going to happen. And so it's almost like if you run a marathon, you know it ends at 26 miles or 0.2, I don't know, for you runners. But like for entrepreneurship, it's just someone saying run. Yeah. And like, I'll tell you when to stop. Yeah. And even if you, like, just that idea almost sounds torturous of like, just run. And it's like, well, how long? It's like, run. It's like, but what if my lungs start hurting? Run. Yeah. Keep running. And I think that's what makes a lot of entrepreneurship painful. And then the idea of, even me saying this, some of you guys probably had your heart rates go up, right? Even the idea of not knowing when something is going to end, or in other words, when you're going to figure it out. A lot of people just don't want to start that race. And so they know what they're currently doing, and they get more rewarded for talking about scaling, for talking about their goals, than they do for pursuing them, which involves a lot of uncertainty, pain,